Investing in bachelor's or master program is an important decision. It not only costs you financially, but it requires time as well. This is why it's very important for construction professional, civil engineer, project manager, quantity surveyors, or even outside of AEC domain to identify which program, which course, which university is best, and many young professionals struggle at this phase. Today I'm going to share my experience why I did masters from Heriot-Watt University and what was the factors that helped me to decide and influence my decision. So if this is your first time, my name is Saady Chohan. I am a quantity surveyor from Dublin. I was living in Dubai for almost a decade, and that was the time when I decided I should consider another master's in quantity surveying. But it was not as straightforward as I'm explaining you in this video. So let me share a short story. In this story, you will also understand the thought process. And most of you might be already on the same stage. So in 2018, I was considering to do a PhD in some IT program. I applied in several universities and I was focusing on Ireland that time. I was lucky enough to secure a few offer letters from different universities and supervisors. Though some personal reasons I did not pursue and I just left that. After some time in 2019 and 20, I decided I'm not really good. That's not my strong point. Those are not my strengths to do a research or in academia. That's not my future. Like this is not what I see myself doing after a few years. Then I decided I should be in an industry. I'm seeing myself doing a job, working with a company or starting my own firm, and it's easy for me to achieve that goal if I do another master and I started my own firm. So those were the initial thought. Then I decided I should do another master's in quantity surveying. This was the time when I already had one master's in information technology, but I had an interest in construction, and it's only possible for me to secure a great opportunities if I have the relevant degree. So I had two options at that time: to do a master's in construction project management or to do a master's in quantity surveying. So that was two options I had that time. And then I decided I need to be a chartered quantity surveyor in future. I need to start my own firm, and it's only possible if I have a relevant degree. So I decided that I'm going to pursue with quantity surveying. The next challenge was, should I stay in Dubai? Because that was the time when I was in Dubai. Should I stay in Dubai and continue my study here, or maybe move abroad and just study my master's there? That was the second thought. Of course, there was a university and the fees and part-time or full-time. Those were also concerned, but that was the next step. So I decided that if I stay in Dubai, why I'm sharing this, because you might be already on this stage. You might be in a Middle East or in some of the Asian country. So maybe you can resonate and it can help you to decide. So I decided that if I'll stay in Dubai and complete my master's just because I have a secure job, and just because I can avoid the challenges of moving a new country, I can study better and I can do my master's even a full time. So I decided that I'll do my master's in Dubai. The next challenge was university. There were so many universities. Some of the universities were offering the same MSc quantity surveying program online, and there were few options to do a master's on campus as well. I never wanted to do it online, and the reason was it's a personal opinion. People has their own priority. My concern was I wanted to enjoy a university life while I'm studying. Second concern was I can network with students, I can connect with professors, and I always find myself learning more when I'm attending a class or I'm in person session. So I had two options, either to study online or study in campus. There are so many universities who are offering the same program with the same amount of fee and same classes and everything. But in my opinion, I prefer not to go online. And there were a few reasons. I wanted to enjoy a university life, of course. I wanted to experience that. I wanted to connect with people. I wanted to learn in person so I can connect with professor. And most of the time when you do a master's, you meet industry people, you meet professionals. So you get a chance to learn from their experience, you get a chance to network with them, and that's how you explore the other opportunities as well. There were other aspects as well. So I concluded I'll proceed with masters in campus. The next challenge was which university covering those requirements. I search and I find out there are only few universities in Middle East and especially in UAE. So here my concern was not only to complete the masters in quantity surveying, but that master's degree should be accredited by RICS and CIOB, because I knew that in future when I start my own firm or when I explore some opportunities, especially my intention was to complete chartership in future, and it's only possible if I complete my master's degree that is accredited by RICS. Maybe you are a civil engineer and you may need to find another accredited institute, another body. Maybe you are from IT profession and you want to see accordingly. But that was the criteria, because I knew it, if I'm paying that much fee, why not to consider that option as well? So by narrowing down and listing down all the priority, I come to the conclusion that there was only one university in UAE, and I was lucky though it was in UAE, because if I were in KSA, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, I might find other challenges as well. So there was a university called Harriet Watt, and they had a campus. They have 3 campuses. One campus is in Malaysia, second is in Dubai, and third is in Scotland. The main campus is there. So I just started my master there. That time I had another concern, or actually I had 2 options: to do the masters full-time or part-time. It's not only the way you want to learn, it's associated with the cost as well. So let me tell you the thought process that time. If I had to choose full-time, it's on a fast pace, so I can complete it in 1 year. So the challenge associated in terms of study, I have to complete 4 courses in each semester. So there was a burden in terms of study because there are 4 courses and I had to attend 4 classes per week. So that was the first challenge. Second challenge was I have to pay whole fee in 1 year or even in the first 6 months. So fee and study burden, that's the challenge that is associated with the full-time. But of course, if you choose full-time, you can complete it in a fast pace and you can complete within a year, even 9 to 10 months you can complete it. On the other side, when it comes to part-time, you just need to study 2 courses per semester, so you have a less study burden. Plus, in terms of a financial aspect, you don't need to pay all the fee in 1 year. You can divide that fee onto 2 years and then you can slowly pay that. Fee will remain the same. It's just either you pay in 1 year or 2 years. So those were the 2 options, and each option has its own things to decide. So when you choose that, there's not only one thing that everybody needs to follow it. People has their own priority. They have different budget and circumstances. So you need to decide, do you want to save the cost or do you want to save the time? Based on that, you can choose it. So that was the whole process behind selection of a university. Of course, I had to pay the whole fee, which was around 15 to 16,000 euro, and my classes were in the evening. I think we had few options, though I choose evening classes. I don't remember if we really have the option, but I choose evening classes. That was from 6 to 9:30, and it was 4 classes per week. So why I share my story, because all those aspects, the thought process behind the selection of a university and a program, that's how most of the people should decide. Instead of you ask people or send me the message, even I can't tell you which university is best, because you may have a different budget, you may have different preference, you may have circumstances. So there's only one person who can guide you, and that is you. You need to list down your priorities, which country is best, which university is best, which accreditation is best. So I'm going to highlight few more points in this video one by one that can assist you better. So the first concern that most of the people has is selecting a country. Let's assume you are maybe from Asian country or maybe from Africa or from Middle East. That's where most of the audience is. And you may need to consider your masters from some of the European country. Let's just assume that. So what will be the first thought that you need to put, that which country will be best? If I were there, my priority should be to choose a country that is English speaking, and so you don't need to spend extra time learning a language. Imagine if you choose, because after some time you need to work as well, you need to find the job, and that's how you're going to communicate with people. You need to communicate with your professor. Of course, in university they prefer to deliver the lectures in English, but after the university you need to find the job, you need to connect with people. So if I were there, I prefer English speaking country. But if you move to France, then you may need to speak French, you may need to learn French. If you move to Denmark, then you may need to learn Danish. If you move to Germany, that offer a lot of study program, even some of them are free. Before I forgot, there is a program in Germany called DAAD, D-A-A-D. There are so many free program, bachelor's and master, and they have their own criteria you can explore, and I hope it may help you. But the challenge again, if you move to Germany, then you need to learn Dutch, because once you complete your master's, you need to find a job, and they prefer only the people who can communicate in Dutch. So that's just an example. If you need to choose a country and you still have an option, you're going to apply. So why not to choose a country that has a first language as English? When you put that filter, then you have only two countries left mainly, that is UK and Ireland. You don't need to agree. Of course, people has different criteria, but I'm just giving you the option. That's how you decide. If you think language is not a problem, maybe you have some relative in maybe France and French is not a problem. Main thing is you need to be there with your siblings, maybe with your parents. So this condition and this thought process doesn't even apply. So that's the first condition. You need to firstly choose a country before you ask somebody which program is best, how much it will cost you, and what are the requirements. Firstly, you need to decide which country you like to move. Second is selecting the right program and university. There is not only one route, people have their own strategies. They have different budget as well. So imagine if you decide a country, let's say UK, now you need to choose the right university and the program. So see, if you really want to pursue a master in your own field, maybe you're a project manager and you need to study project management. If you're a quantity surveyor and you need to study quantity surveying, or same applies to civil engineer, IT, or maybe accounting domain. So that's the first condition. Do you really want to continue that? But keep that in mind when you choose technical program and when you choose the top universities, it always costs you more. So some people do not even have enough budget to pay the top university fee and for the top courses, because all those courses that are high in demand, their fee is more, because they know that, university know that most of the people who complete the degree, they will find the job because they are highly in demand profession. That's why university is offering those programs and promoting those programs, but it costs you more. So do you prefer to pay more and choose the degree that can help you to find a job? There's no degree that can guarantee a job, but it's just the opportunity, it's just an advantage. So you need to consider that option. Or the second option is you don't really need a degree that can help you to find a job. You just need to relocate, you just need to move to another country, and you just need to study anything that can assist you to move another country. Then you don't even need to pay that much cost. You can find some short program. There are so many one-year program like MBA. I'm not saying it's easy or it's less valuable. It's just giving you the example, because if you compare big data or masters in AI, masters in quantity surveying, these are the technical program, and university charge you a lot. They cost you around 15 to 17,000 pound if you move to UK, which is more than dollar and even euro. You can of course convert it through Google and you will find the exact cost based on your country's currency. So if you choose more economical, more affordable course, maybe MBA or maybe something in management, you can end up finding a course or program in around 10,000 pound or euro. I'm just giving the example. You don't need to choose a top university. You can find some college that is even far from capital. It will cost you less, and it will also allow you to move to another country. Second thing that you need to keep in mind, when you move there, when you complete your program, what next? Because at the end you need to find the job. And that is also an important thing that you need to keep in mind while selecting a degree and while selecting a program. One route which is technical, which will cost you more and there will be a study burden, but there are high chances that when you complete, just because these are the high in demand, when we say high in demand, it's demand by the country, by the companies who are there, and this profession is high in demand. So there are still better chances that you will find a job in your own field. But on the other side, when you were trying to save the cost, you want to just save the time and move to another country. Now there are so many people already in that field, and of course that's why it was less expensive as well. But there are few chances. I'll not say it's there are no chances, but there will be few chances, and it will be difficult and challenging for you to find the job in your own domain. Imagine you are a civil engineer, but you just consider another management or MBA course, so you can just move there at the low cost. But just because you haven't done masters in civil engineering, not become challenging. I'll not say that you will never find a job, but it will be challenging. So that's the second point that you need to keep in your mind while selecting a university and program. Third is university fee and requirement. I receive so many messages on LinkedIn and people ask me that they want to consider masters from Heriot-Watt and they want my guidance, my opinion on the fee. How much fee did I pay when I was doing a masters? I don't mind, but this is not the right approach. I paid around 15 to 16,000 euro, but this is not accurate because I completed my masters in 23. You might be watching this video after you're applying after maybe 26 or 27. Fee may change. So this amount anyways will not help you. This amount will just give you the idea. So it's always better. It takes hardly 2 to 3 minutes. Just open the university official page and select the program. You will find the exact fee and always see the fee that is for international student. University update the fee based on so many aspects. So instead of asking people, it's recommended to find the fee on the official website of university. And sometimes fee varies based on the campus, based on the country, and university it varies as well. So whatever the university you're preferring to consider, it's always better to open their website. It will barely take 2 minutes. Second is requirement as well. There are different universities and they have different requirement as well. So make sure you pay attention to that as well before you make your mind and you select that university. Of course, they will give you the offer letter once you meet the requirement, but it's better to see it. What I really mean by the requirement, there are some program that needs IELTS minimum 6 band, and there are other program where you should have a relevant bachelor's degree, or maybe you should have 70% grade in your bachelor. So there are so many requirements. So it's always better to find the requirement and also find the fee on the official website of university, because requirements and fee, it change by the passage of time. So it's better to see it there. Fourth is studying part-time or full-time. I have already shared my story and the thought process when I was selecting a program, and same applies. If you need to save time, then full-time will be the best option. But you might have study burden and you may need to pay the fee in the first few months. So there will be a burden in terms of financially and study. But on the other side, if you think you're not in rush, you just need less burden. So I think part-time will be better. It also connects us with our next point, which is working on a study visa. So when you are on a study visa, there are so many jobs and people has concern if they can find the job, is it a relevant job, how much they can earn, how much they can save, etc., etc. So first thing you need to keep in mind, when you are on a study visa, by the law, you are only allowed to work for 20 hours. When you complete your study visa, of course, you get a work permit and we'll cover that point. But on study visa, it's only allowed to work 20 hours as a student. And companies do not prefer to hire those who are on a study visa. So you will not find the job in your field. Like if you're a civil engineer, you're an IT guy, you're a programmer, maybe project manager, architect, you will not find the job in a company because most of the companies prefer to hire an employee as a full-time. I'm not saying like there is no chances, maybe you're lucky enough, but that's what happens most of the time. Companies know that this person is on a study visa and his focus is study, though you might not be focusing, but that's what their thought is. So it's very difficult and you end up working on a blue collar job. There's nothing wrong with that, even they earn more than a white collar job, but you might end up working in a blue collar job. Like you might be working as a security, you might be driving a taxi, or maybe working at a restaurant or supermarket, or maybe there are other opportunities as well. But that's what most of the students are doing. So on a study visa, people has only 20 hours per week. Some students, they are even working more. I do not recommend to break the law, but I heard it from friends of friends that some people, they work on a cash and even they work more than 20 hours. Just maybe they want to cover their fee or maybe expense of living, whatever. But there are few opportunities and people take advantage, etc. So that's the thing that you need to keep in mind when you are studying. There will be limited chances for the job and you can only work. You may be in a domain where you can offer your services online as well. You maybe can work on a freelance, maybe Upwork, Fiverr, another platform. So you don't really need to work on a site and maybe visa is not required. So if you're a designer, you can maybe design on AutoCAD or maybe Revit. Maybe you're a quantity surveyor, you can work on plan shift and you can submit to the client online. So you can bypass that restriction because you're working from home. So even if you work 24 hours per day, nobody knows. So that's another way of thinking. When you select a program and country, what are the minimum working hours when you are on a study visa. Then post-graduation opportunity. Once you complete first year, it is the most difficult time because you are studying and you will not able to find a full-time job because it's not allowed as per the law. But once you complete it, based on your program and based on the country, you get the work permit from the government. So for this example, we'll consider it, maybe you're in a UK, you completed your master's program full-time in 1 year, now government provided you 2 years to find a job. Maybe you can work temporary in 2 years, but you need to find another job that can extend your work permit and maybe lead you to the passport, depending on the route. We will not cover that topic in this video. So you will have 2 years to find the job and you are eligible to work full-time. So if you completed masters, by the law it will give you 2-year work permit. If you completed your PhD, it will give you 3 years. And just for your information, there are some countries like Denmark. I have a friend there. Once he completed his masters, government gave him 3 years. So it depends which country you are and what are their rules. But once you complete that, government will offer you a 2-year temporary work permit and it will allow you to find the job. This is the time when you can really work in your own field. So if you're a civil engineer, you can work as a civil engineer. If you're a quantity surveyor, you can work as a quantity surveyor. This is why it's very important when you choose a program, keep that aspect in mind that after your graduation, after your post-graduation, you need to find the job and your relevant degree going to help you. There are so many job opportunities depending on the field you choose. And if you want to know more, how to find the job, what are the best platform, what are the best strategies. So I have already uploaded few videos on my YouTube. I have few podcasts and few strategies, and I recommend you to just subscribe or even watch the other videos. It will cover that topic. So while we are on this topic, let me give you the idea about work permit criteria. In each country, there are different requirements and there are different process. Of course, you can Google it, but here I'm giving you the idea so at least you can keep that in mind and you can explore more. So for this example, consider if you are in UK, you completed your master's degree, now you have 2-year work permit, but this is temporary work permit. Eventually, you need a job to secure a continued work permit. You need to secure a job from company, but it's not only any job. There are few listed profession by the government. You need to only secure those jobs. This is one aspect. And second, there is annually salary range that is defined by government. In UK currently it's 38,000. Of course, if you Google, you will find the updated. Maybe you're watching this video after 2-3 years and salary range maybe go up or down. So it's recommended to check the minimum salary requirement on Google and official pages by each country. I think in Ireland it's also around 38. So there is a minimum salary range and there are listed profession. If you fall under that category and there are more criteria as well, then you are eligible to secure the job. And that's where most of the people struggle because they might not be in a relevant field. They might earning even more than 38, but just because they are not in a relevant field, they cannot secure a work permit. So make sure you keep that thing in mind and research more. So that was the thing. I highlighted few things at a high level, and of course this short video can help you to understand the thought process, and maybe my experience can also help you decide the right university, right program and right country as well. There are other aspects as well, like what is the process of securing offer letter from university for masters, or maybe what is the process of doing a fully funded PhD from different university. So if you really want me to cover that topic, because I went through all of those things, I applied for bachelor's and I applied for master's and PhD as well. So I can share my experience and maybe I can invite some professional who can share their experience and guide you better. And if you really want us to cover those topics, I will recommend you to comment under this video, drop your questions, and maybe we can make a part 2, or maybe we can invite a guest speaker and they can cover your question. So that's it for today. If you really like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you really have a question, connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn. So that's it from my side. See you in the next video. Bye bye.